What's up, guys? Welcome to another replay cast, and this time we're looking at the game in the Tier 8 British tank destroyer Charioteer. Once again playing Redshire 357. This time we are on the receiving end, being bottom tier. And as the stat pattern I do not have 6th Sense, which will hurt me a bit later. Then again, we start off by going into the middle, and what you generally want to be careful here. If you do have 6th Sense, you want to be careful to see if your 6th Sense lights up on your way here. That generally indicates that there is light tanks in the E6 kind of area, maybe D6 in that bush line. Light tanks can make that cross before you can arrive to the middle, so always kind of need to be careful of that possibility. As I do not have 6th Sense, I played it very carefully and very safely and made sure that there was no real way I would be shot at, even if I did get spotted there. But now we are starting to do damage on that Progetto. Didn't get the tracking, sadly, but we do at least do the damage. One thing you'll notice immediately is that my ammo setup is pretty weird. I am rocking 15 APCR and 15 hash. This is the premium hash with 200 pen, if I'm not mistaken. But to be honest, I didn't even really remember about that in this game until it came that time in the game where I ran out of APCR, but we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I'm running 15-15 setup. It's not probably the smartest thing ever, but it can be quite funny. Also, the hash is really powerful in this tank, so it definitely has its uses. You just probably don't want 15 as it kind of limits your APCR ability, but then again, you can just hash around and it is not terrible. Just you kind of need APCR every once in a while for those specific important targets. So far, it looks like our team has a good presence in the 9-0 line, but the castle is looking pretty shabby right now, and that's shabby. The middle is kind of controlled by the enemy team, and the cap circle is as well. So we kind of got to be careful here. And me playing without 6th Sense definitely makes that even worse. But we are getting some shots in, pushing this poor Udis away. But yeah. We do pick up the WZ, and we're already at 2k damage, so doing pretty well so far. The Charioteer has gone through quite a lot of iterations, and I mostly played it before they buffed it. And the buff was improved the gun depression and a lot of other features on this tank, and it kind of really became what everybody wanted it to be. Everybody kind of wanted this tank to be like the Tier 8 Hellcat, and it kind of became that with the improved gun depression, and the gun hits hard and generally is pretty good. It aims for quite a long time compared to the Hellcat, but it also hits pretty hard. So now I'm in the middle of fuckdown nowhere, and this is obviously a mistake. I hope that wasn't spotted, but as it turns out, I was spotted, and that is literally all my hit points gone. Definitely a downside of having low hit point TD, and I am almost died. One of them missed the shot, which allowed me to live. And now this game becomes significantly more difficult for us. We're losing 2-5, and I have 200 hit points left. So we are retreating from our aggressive position back to this sniping this angle here. It's really silly that shit really exists, but I guess it gives our campers something to do. And to be fair, this position can be countered. My biggest grind with the Redshire map is that camping the K line on our spawn and the A line on their spawn is too easy and locks off too much of the map. But this position can be countered from the castle somewhat effectively. It is pretty rough though. Here I make an incredible amount of potato shots. Also will come in quite important later on when I run out of APCR. There's a dead guy in front of that SU-101 that I didn't really play around properly. Also, fuck my life, right? Fuck my life. How do you even bounce off the side of the E5? Well, either way, we do pen the IS-7 and set him on fire, so I guess there's some karma for that E5 miss. But yeah, you can kind of appreciate how good the gun on this tank can be when you actually get to fully aim. And again, you can see the dead tank there, but I never really get the outline, and I never really realized how much is he actually blocking the shot as the bush was in front of him. So I'll in the end I'll fuck up quite a lot of shots that way. So they're keeping on pushing that angle, and the good news is the E3 doesn't really know what's hitting all these other fuckers, so he's probably going to be prone to pushing this at some point as well. Dias3 is the next guy though, and he also has no clue as he hasn't been shot yet, so we let him know what's happening here. And now for #esports. Very nice shot there. Picking up the Udis. We'll not have to worry about that later on. The Yaktar is still up on that hill, and the SU is still alive as well. Perfect opportunity to kill him here now, but this shot misses, and then I fail to make any shots in the future connect as well. And we are rapidly running out of APCR, and I'm still blind shooting. That was clearly aimed at the dead wreck that I still have not realized that it was in front of me there. So a last APCR shot, and as the smart guy that I am, like I said, I didn't actually realize the fact that I'm running out of APCR so rapidly, so I'm just wasting it away. And from other hand, I'm not that afraid of using Hesh, but if I was smart, I would reload Hesh right here and start spamming Hesh now, just in case I need that last APCR for something that I really need APCR for in the end of the game. Trying to spot this SU-101, and we do manage to do that, but once again, the wreck of the tank blocks my shot, and I can't really shoot without taking the double push either, unless I wanna die for it. And now, looking for another shot, the SU-101 actually manages to pick up the 57 Heavy, which is very unfortunate for us. And now, the enemy team is also putting up quite a lot of cap pressure. We do manage to reset it now, but they're still in there, and my last APCR shot goes nowhere. So now we're reduced to only Hesh, and Hesh is what makes this tank way more fun for me. That's why I run the 15 Hesh. I could even run more, just for the entertainment value of these Hesh shells. So that is 3 still peeking. The Udis stopped shooting him. I don't really have very good shots right now, but the E3 seems to finally be moving into the open. And with the E3s, you really got to shoot him in the flat side if you want to have a chance. I see some green pen marks that try to go more for the tracking than anything else. He does get tracked sideways onto me, and I realize I have a green pen mark on the side of him, and we get a nice juicy 496 roll into the side with 2 criticals hit. Which is exactly what you want this gun and ammo to do. And the heavy line finally has won that shit, and we can try to move along and try to do something else. We're at 4k damage right now, but this game is still not really won, as they are putting up cap pressure. They have us pretty badly crossfired together with the Skoda, and the SU-101 isn't in that great of a position, but he could definitely be a pain in the ass as well. But we just freed up a huge part of the map, so I'm gonna go to that part of the map, the middle area there. There's still Artie, so I should try to not get spotted. Also, that was a bit of a heart attack with these new physics and the way you take damage from falling. Sometimes you can definitely hurt yourself on that drop. Luckily, I slowed down just a tiny bit before that, so didn't end up taking any damage. We still have plenty of time on the cap, and we kind of really want to spot the Yak Tiger first, I guess, before we do anything else. If the 101 dies, it's also a relief for me. I can use more of the map, and we do get a trade in Roshetto for the SU-101. Don't really have all that much tanks to trade anymore. The Oho is not really into the fight right now, and Udis and the Batchet are the only 2 guys left, and if I'm not mistaken, that the Batchet is on no hit points as well. So we kind of are relying on the Udis to get into the cap and the reset, and I do get to spot the Yak Tiger, and I'm waiting here because I know that the reflex when you get spotted is to drive backwards, which is exactly what he does. Not sure if I'm getting spotted here or not. I mean, he did peek out quite far with his ass, but it was still his ass. The Udis does get into the cap and saves us from losing this game, so well played to the Udis there for not actually embracing the Udis meme where you just camp at the red line until you lose. And we do get to pick up the Yak Tiger. The Hesh does its job. Like I said, 200 penetration on the Hesh makes it quite the powerful ammunition. Now the Batchet does get spotted. Once they reset this, it's probably over. The Skoda definitely could still mount a comeback in this. It's hard for me to get this shot through all these bushes, but I'm still looking for it. The Oho has joined the fight on full hit points though, so that should be our saving grace in this game, especially because the Skoda is low health and the Batchet is an HE pen for him. I don't really want to move up because I don't want to risk getting spotted, but now when the Oho just executes the little light tank, we can definitely go and start looking for their Artie and see if the Skoda is not trying to make a run for the A1 area as well. Not very good view range of this without the binos deployed. As I said, my crew, as the true stat padder that I am, is not very good. I don't have Sixth Sense, like I said, and that means that I can't really use optics. And even then, 370 view range, you would have to have a really good crew and probably run the consumable in order to be able to run without the binos and optics instead. The Skoda gets spotted, but the no, actually the Udas executes that guy. And now for the Arty, I mean, we should be able to do nice damage here, as German Artys generally do not tend to bounce any shots, and that is exactly what happens. Alright, so here's the end plate. Ace Tanker, 5,874 experience with the double, 2 bonds, high caliber and Confederate. Ended up doing 5,462 damage, picked up 91 assistance with 3 kills. 1305 base XP, and we got our Sixth Sense. Yay! Would have been quite useful in that game to not get so shit on in the middle. Maybe would have allowed me to do a bit more aggressive play towards the end of the game, but in the end it worked out for us and our team. Well played to the Udas as well. He definitely won us that game by stopping the cap from the enemy team, and that's nice to see that Udas players actually do use their hit points at some point in the game as well. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you don't mind the video spam, and I'll see you on the next one.